back-to-back exciting games for the Lakers. They left Grizzlies with an exciting one, and here they are in San Antonio with an exciting one.
And the young Spurs once again disappointed. Couple of great games, the last two against the Bucks and the Lakers, and they don't have anything in the win column to show for it. The Lakers now are even at 2-2, and the Spurs are 1-3. Here's the last couple of buckets.
Well, they've been some big-time baskets, too. Again, offensive rebound by Anthony Davis. Again, Russell Westbrook has been really, really good. I mean, attacking the rim and finishing. But here's what seals the deal. Bazemore from behind taps it free. Game over.
That'll do it from San Antonio. In overtime tonight, the Lakers beat the Spurs. Make sure to catch our next telecast tomorrow. It's at 5 o'clock. Right back at it when the Lakers take on the OKC Thunder. Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers, starts right now. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you tomorrow night in Oklahoma City.
Hello, welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, Robert Ory, big game, James Worthy, Mike Bresnahan. We got Allie joining. We're going to hear from Trudell in just a moment. The Lakers' first road game of the year, first road win of the year. There's so many places we can take this big game, James. There's things to work on. There's things to be happy about. Bottom line, they got the win. Where do you want to start?
They got the win. That's where I want to start, and it was a good win, believe it or not. I mean, San Antonio, a young team, not afraid to play. The Lakers come to town. They're trying to show that they can compete, and they did. But I thought the Lakers were scrappy when they needed to be. It was a sloppy game. They had the lead. They gave up some offensive rebounds. But I thought Westbrook and AD, particularly AD on the offensive boards at the end, kind of captured the game. But you got to give Westbrook and AD a lot of props for what they did. And, it was sloppy, but we'll get the win in overtime.
I was going to say something about Austin Reeves, but I think I'll leave that to you.
Oh, because I picked him?
Because you picked him, but he came in, he played great. I thought Monk played great. We always want to harp on the big two since LeBron was out, the big three. I think everybody came in, they stepped up when they needed some good defensive plays. Bazemore right there at the end with a drill that we always do in practice where you chase down and you poke a little loose. So it was just a great overall game for everybody. I think they needed this win, but the only thing that's kind of sticks out in my mind is that AD played 42 minutes. And then they got a game tomorrow. So it's a little too early for that.
Also had that bang knee there on that free throw. I'm sure we'll show that later. I'm glad you mentioned the other guys, because there's that lineup of Reeves, Monk, Dwight, Russ, and AD that started that fourth quarter and played about 7-8 minutes together. That was tremendous on both ends of the floor and got the Lakers back in that game. All right, Brez, where do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, this is what Rob Pelinka envisioned when he made the trade back in July to acquire Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he gave up 3 core players, but he wanted that third superstar for nights like tonight when LeBron James can't go. You have another superstar to team with Anthony Davis. That's exactly what we saw tonight. Did the Lakers win this game with KCP and Kuz? I don't know. And Montrezl Harrell, the other guy who went in that trade, I don't know. I'm not sure they do if it's just AD and those guys. Tonight, though, Russ really dialed it up. Easily his best game with the Lakers, kind of flashing back to him the last couple of years, be it Houston or towards the end of his career in OKC. Even last year in Washington, those two together looked great tonight.
All right, let's go back to San Antonio. Dwight Howard is with Mike Trudell.
Well, Dwight, quite a game here in San Antonio. Down 12 to start the fourth quarter. What did you guys do to get back into the game?
Our energy was down, and we had to come out and bring some more energy. And it started on the defensive end. We had to get up, pressure the ball more, make those guys make plays and make turnovers. Those young guys play hard. We know we're going to get everybody's best shot every night, so we got to keep our energy in the right place. And we did a good job of that in the fourth quarter. We came back and got a tough win.
So last game, LeBron's down, he gets up. This game, AD's down, he gets up. How do you guys go through those kind of emotional swings and then stay in it as the teammates?
Stay locked in, stay locked in, keep our energy, like I said, in the right place. When AD goes down, we know we got to pick him up. Anybody go down, we got to pick them up, but we always got to have our energy in the right place, stay positive, and we got a great win.
Dwight, what did you see from Russ in his first road game for the Lakers here?
Well, the fact that he just keep playing hard, no matter what, no matter if he missed shots, he turned the ball over. He's always thinking about the next play. Like I said, you got to stay positive. All of us know that this is a transition for all of us. It's a learning phase, and we're going to get everybody's best shot every night. So we got to be ready for that, and that's just going to make us stronger. You know, the more we play, the stronger we get. You know, and these teams is not playing around, you know, so later on in the season, when we have it clicking, it's going to be very great.
Dwight, we appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate you.
Lakers really turned it around there in that fourth quarter because after three, it looked bleak in terms of everything. Defensively, getting out rebounded, the fast break points, but the Lakers' fourth quarter really changed the momentum of that game. We got to start with the big two because there was no LeBron tonight. Russ and AD, they combined for 68 points, 27 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals, James. And it's something we talked a lot about in the pregame show. We led with it. No LeBron. Now you get to see the chemistry with Russ and AD. You also get to see the ball in Russ's hand where he's most comfortable.
Yeah, I think Brad's hit on it. You know, Rob wanted someone that could take over if LeBron wasn't available. And I think Westbrook did a good job of it tonight. And, you know, he had a good pace. Westbrook's kind of in attack mode all the time. And if you give him an opportunity, he's going to try to get through the rack. I thought he had some unselfish passes early in the game where he got guys shots. He got Monk shots, a couple of lobs over the top. He was just aggressive. And I think he set the tone for the team. They were able to get back to that on the defensive end. Just a special game by him tonight in the absence of LeBron.
I mean, listen, Rob, yeah, he had 1-3, had a couple of pull-ups, but most of those points were attacking, grown man style in the rack for Russ.
Speaking of grown man style, that's one when he went. I just know he's going to get a block, and he dunks on him. So that's Russ. That's vintage Russ right there, going to the hole, dunking on people, getting to the hole, attacking, drawing the defense, and kicking it out. When Russ is in that attack mode, it's a lot easier for him to play the game. But when he's in there with LeBron, he kind of defers to LeBron. But he sometimes he says, hey, LeBron, I got the advantage. I got a guy who can't keep up with me. Go for it. So you love it when he's in attack mode because everybody else around him eats. He finds people. He feeds people. And people get easy buckets because the defense collapses.
It's such a big game for so many reasons. A, the Lakers 500, nice first road win. And B, it might open the eyes of the Laker coaching staff a little bit. Like, oh, so we can do this with him if LeBron's off the court. You know, obviously LeBron, a very ball-dominant player. So is Russ. So the first 3 games, it was kind of a push and pull with those 2 guys. Tonight, though, the Laker coaching staff probably realizing this kid can do a lot, as if they didn't know that already. But now he's starting to match up well with his teammates. He and AD were perfect together. By the way, AD, 2 follow-up rebounds in that overtime that led to baskets. He was really strong off the offensive glass.
Yeah, let's switch gears and talk about the other star now because he deserves it. I mean, without AD, there is no win. I mean, this was a dominant performance, 35 points, 17 boards, 4 blocks again for the second consecutive game. But there was a spurt there in the fourth quarter where it just looked like he was not going to let this team lose.
Oh, yeah. You know, AD was being AD. He was attacking the basket. You know, I'm always harping on getting extra buckets, getting extra shots. And AD tonight was active. He was around the rim, getting the ball, getting his hands on loose ball, putting it back. You know, down the stretch with some misses by Westbrook. He was there to put back. And when AD is scoring in the paint like that, that means he's aggressive. Anytime you play outside the paint, you kind of go in that passive mode, like, hey, I'm in a relaxed mode. I don't need you to be in a relaxed mode. I need you to be in an aggressive mode. And when he's in aggressive mode, his whole game flows. Then you can step out to the 3. So AD was in attack mode in the paint, feasting because he knew he had the advantage the whole night.
Yeah, 7 offensive rebounds, 72 points in the paints for the Lakers tonight. A lot of that had to do with his willingness to go get that basketball. He knew at some point in that overtime in the fourth quarter that extra possessions were going to be critical, and he knew he had the ability to go get them. So there was some nice putbacks, some nice tack to the basket on his part, and that's what you want to see out of him.
Before you go, Brez, first time this year, James, the Lakers win the paint battle.
There we go.
Like that, 72-64.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was going to talk about how before the game, we talked about that, and the Lakers getting crushed, especially that Phoenix game. Not really known as a team that dominates the paint, the Phoenix Suns. Lakers got pummeled down low in that one. Better against Memphis. Perfect tonight in the paint. I guess nothing's perfect, right? But much, much better tonight. AD, a huge part of that. He was great everywhere, whether it was mid-range, following up his teammates' misses, himself down low. Some really explosive moves, a James Worthy spin move on the baseline for an easy basket. He was great all around.
All right, well, let's get you to San Antonio for the highlights. Lakers taking on the Spurs with no LeBron James. First quarter, Malik Monk starting in place of LBJ, kicks it to Russell Westbrook. First basket of the night. Russ now dishing it out here. Lobs it up for AD. 7-4 Lakers. I believe Big Game James called for 5 or 6 lobs. Just over 7 to go. AD to the hole. Bullies his way in. Spurs need a timeout. Right out of the timeout, Westbrook the steal. Big Game. The lob to DeAndre for the big slam.
Yeah, that pass was in the air for a long time. From the baseline out of bounds, throwing it toward the opponent's basket. He ran that one down, and they got the pass over to Jordan.
Here they are again. More lobs, Rob.
Over the side of the basket. Look at this. He threw it to the other side of the basket, but DJ can go get that thing and slam it home.
There's Bazemore dumping it off for AD. Spurs, though, it's going to be one of those nights. They're not going to go away. Bates Diop to the hole. Jakob Poeltl backs up Melo. Easy layup. Jakob Poeltl a career night. 12-2 Spurs run. Lakers down by 2. And then Brez, Russ attacks.
Yeah, this is when we really started to see him go into his game. Tough. Probably a foul there. Love to see him being aggressive and assertive. It's like the old Russ.
Reeves the steal. Monk the 3. Pull up from 17. Bank. Lakers down 1. Just over 7.5 to go. Monk, Bazemore in that corner. Got it. I like this Rajon Rondo pass. Big Game. Out of bounds. Dwight with the cut to the hoop.
Yeah, nice baseline out of bounds. And then the left, Rondo to the cup, Geeter.
Brow going to work again. Drop step.
There it is.
Slam. There it was. Big Game. 50-46. And then Rob. Block on the other end.
Like, I just did that spin on you. Think you can do it on me? Now I'm going to take you coast to coast, do a little in and out, and one. See, this is a spin. AD never gives up. Never gives up. Blocks a shot. Then, you know what? I'm going to show you my ball handling skills. Go to the other end of the court, take it to the rack for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Able to take the contact there and finish. Very important. DeJounte Murray, he had a big night. Drains one tied up at 56. Westbrook, like a man. Lakers up 1. Lonnie Walker, the 4th. Hits a wide-open 3. Had himself a night. Spurs going to take a 62-61 lead into the break. Third quarter, Brez. Malik Monk got the start. He's making Frank Vogel happy.
Yeah, real impressed by him tonight. Plus 31 on the night. We're going to see a pretty nice long shot from him later in the game, too.
Monk, did you say plus 31?
Plus 31. Crazy.
My pick.
Westbrook
Take your shot.
driving to the hole. AD, dump off. Dunk, DJ. Big Game, check this out, big to big.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. The Twin Towers getting the job done. AD, downhill. Jordan, always in the right place.
If Rondo is shooting a floater, it's going in, period. It just is.
AD, jumper, up 3, tied up at 82. Defensively, not a great lineup here for the Lakers, Rob.
Yeah.
In this game, they struggled. Spurs go on a run.
Yeah, I think Spurs go on a 12-0 run right here, but, you know, you got to keep fighting. The Lakers never gave up. And sometimes you're going to have these runs. This is going to what test you early, make you become a solid team.
Devin Vassell and and Walker combined for 10 threes on 16 attempts. The steal and taking it coast to coast. Largest lead, 97-85. Here's that lineup, Rob, that we liked. Dwight, Russ.
Yes, Russ attacking.
Reeves, Monk. Melo's in, actually. AD's going to come in a bit.
Probing by Russ, getting to the hole.
There's AD.
James, you like that footwork?
I like the footwork. I like his patience on that, exploring the paint.
Big Game. Notice the score. Spurs still on 101 with this lineup. Getting it done. Getting stringing stops together. Austin Reeves, Rob.
Yeah. Austin Reed had a great game. And there was one moment there where they had that 12-0 run, and Austin Reed made a 3 to end that run. That's what should have been in his highlight reel.
Russ ties it up at 104 after the Lakers held the lead momentarily. Monk, Russ, 107-104. Pirtle, the slam. Spurs retake the lead. Laker timeout. Down the stretch we go. Try to stay with us. It's 108-107. Pirtle thinks he's Wilt. AD in the paint. Look at the footwork, big game.
Yeah, I like the footwork, bobbled a little bit, under control.
Murray, 15-foot floater.
Too easy.
Spurs lead by 3. Melo,
Old school.
old school bucket. Lakers down 1. That's his first bucket of the night. Brez, Monk's gonna pull up.
From way downtown.
Bang, bang.
31-footer officially. That's not short, guys.
You said I ain't scared.
Played 38 minutes tonight, by the way.
James, we didn't know what happened. We did see the replay there. You see AD go down grimacing. The Spurs go 0 for 7 from the free throw line, James, in the 4th, but they get the rebound. AD's holding his knee, and they get the bucket, and it's tied.
Yeah, not a good scene. I think he clashed with one of the Spurs players. Right here, you're going to see a contact. It was a Murray Brez, and it looked like they collided there on the knees, but thank goodness he shook it off and came back because we needed him down the stretch.
Murray for the win. No.
He ain't no number 5 for the Spurs.
OT. Russ. We just called it fancy.
Nice.
Flat out. Up 2. Russ attack. AD clean it up.
Give me that.
With authority, put it back. Up 5. Rob, is this the grown man play you were talking about?
Yeah, this is that grown man stuff right here. Take it to the hole. That's so nice. We got to see it twice. Right there, Russ going to the hole and just dunking on all of them.
Mama, there go that man.
Then flex on it.
So check this out. Bates Diop's going to hit the shot. They think it's a 3. LeBron's going to let the refs know it's a 2. Foot is on the line, big game.
Well, yeah, and Rob pointed out that the referee was already calling it 2. We saw it in the replay.
My draft classmate, Curtis Blair.
Curtis,
said 2.
yeah. LeBron don't miss nothing. Now look at that, 2, baby.
Pirtle, that's weird. 121 to 121. Brez, how many offensive boards there for AD? 7, I think you said.
Yeah, 2 in a
big game.
Crucial clutch overtime. He was all over the basket.
Russ, left hand, got it.
He's just so explosive going to the hole. Old school play right here, Geeter.
Right from behind. Pick it clean. And there's Pop, LeBron, 125 to 121. The Lakers have now won 2 in a row. They win their first road game of the year. Anthony Davis goes 35 and 17, 4 blocks. It's 116th game where he's had at least 30 and 10. Russell Westbrook with 33, 10 and 8. Malik Monk, 4 3-pointers. He has 17 points. He starts for LeBron James. He is now speaking with Mike in the media.
Your first regular season road game playing for the Lakers. Did you feel and sense all the visiting fans in the building, and were you guys able to tap into any of that energy?
Yeah, it's like a home game. It was like a home game, man. I've never seen nothing like it before, besides when they was playing us when I was in Charlotte. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy feeling. It makes us more comfortable and let everybody relax like we at home. So, yes, sir, we definitely felt that.
You stepped into the starting role tonight, but you want to get right to that 3 that you got. What did you see in front of you? Did you know how far out you were? How confident were you in it, and how he was after you?
I think every shot I shoot going in, so super confident, super confident. My teammates confident in me too, so that makes me even more confident. So, yeah, they just believe in me. And we got great players, man, and everybody stepped up tonight, and I was just able to knock that one down.
It seemed like Russ really was super aggressive as we've seen him as a Laker. Did you sense anything different in his preparation or in leading up to the game that he would kind of have that switch turned on?
No, he's always super locked in as soon as we step in this building, ready to play a basketball game, man. I didn't see anything different. he just had to adjust. Took him a couple games, but I think he's here now, and he's going to continue to be aggressive as he is. But he didn't change anything in his routine.
When did you find out that LeBron wasn't going to play and then you'd be starting?
I had a heads up this morning at walk through, but I found out when I got to the arena. But I'm always ready, man. I'm always ready to step up at any time. So.
Just a quick follow, when AD went down, what was going through your mind and your teammates' mind?
Everybody got next man up. Somebody got to step up. But he's a dog, man. He never gonna just back down from that. I was just able. I was glad he wasn't hurt seriously. So, big ups to AD.
What changes for you when you became the starter? How does your role become more defined?
Nothing changes really, man. I do the same thing. They want me to do the same thing I did tonight every time I step on the court. So that's what I'm gonna continue to try to do.
The defense obviously continues to be a work in progress, but what allowed you guys to get those stops at the end down the stretch?
All the vets we got, man. We got a lot of vets that been in this situation plenty of times. So they just talked us through everything, talked me through it, talked Austin through it. Us young guys, everybody else was super comfortable. But like I said, it was just the vets talking to us.
The three you spoke to Mike about is listed 31 feet. Is that your range? Did you even recognize when you caught it how far from the line you were?
I got unlimited range. Nah, man, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. But yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Lord.
Yes, man. Appreciate y'all.
Unlimited.
Rob, I like that line. Unlimited range. Up next for the Lakers, Thunder on Wednesday. Second game of back-to-back after a lot of minutes for some of these guys. Game time is at 5. We'll get you ready to access Sportsnet Lakers at 4. Much more ahead. Westbrook with 6 points in OT, including this dunk. Lakers pick up their second win of the season in San Antonio. We'll hear from Frank Vogel after the break. Get ready, Allie.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Welcome back. It's the helpful Honda assist of the game. Good defense here, Big Game James, as you always say. Russ with the steal. And then inside, feeding the big man, DJ.
Yeah, great effort, great anticipation. He saw it when the ball was in the air. He had a chance to go get it, and he did. And his teammates saw it. Jordan on the trail. Nice lob.
Well, you should have seen how DJ sprinted. He said, I got me too. I'm going to get down the floor.
The Lakers outscore the Spurs 11-7 in overtime to improve to 2-2. Frank Vogel is now speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Frank, I just want to start about AD, if you know anything about the knee and how he's been playing through.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how sore it is. He just banged knees with one of the Spurs players, and obviously got sore, but he was able to continue. We'll see how it responds overnight.
Frank, down 12 going into the fourth quarter. What did you see switch?
Well, we just got more determined, I think, on the defensive end. I thought Dwight had some really great possessions, impacting plays at the rim and getting some deflections. And, obviously Russ was, I think, huge during that stretch, attacking the rim. He had just a monster night. He and AD both just had monster nights. And, we never lost belief when we were down that we were going to win the game. And, just persevered and got a huge road win.
I want to follow up on Russ and his attack on the rim and just the way that you saw him and how significant that was.
Yeah, it's just every time he's in a Laker uniform with this group, with our system, he just gets a chance to get a little more familiar. And, obviously he was terrific, especially down the stretch. 33, 8, and 10. And, really orchestrated the offense down the stretch. Had some great plays throughout the game with AD and with our bigs, lobbing the ball to the basket. But, really just, I think he slowed down, just a little bit in terms of his paint attacks. And, to play 39 minutes with only 3 turnovers is a hell of a night with ball security. So, big step for him and big reason for the win.
Just how do you think, or what do you think about Russ's evening on offense can be maintained once LeBron comes back in the lineup?
No, it'll be maintained. It's just a matter of, which guy's attacking. Obviously, those guys are going to share the load throughout the course of the year. One of them will be in when the other is out. And you know, like I said, I think it's just more about each game that he plays in our system. You know, gets a little more comfortable.
You have been telling us that you have confidence that you would turn the corner. Were you seeing any stuff that we didn't see necessarily in the game leading up to the game, whether it's walk through some film stretches where you saw it turn to click for him?
Yeah, I mean, not any one thing, but you know, we just you know, just working with him, and honestly, not just working with him, but working with the guys around him. Some of his turnovers are because of bad spacing or bad screening. You know what I mean? And it puts him in bad situations. So, you know, we always feel like the guys without the basketball are every bit as responsible for ball security. And, you know, we've been really working the film in terms of getting guys spaced appropriately and getting our screening angles right.
We have LeBron out. You comparing to Russ and AD. How much confidence does that give the group, you, everyone that used to those two guys that have been away for those?
Yeah, it's a ton of confidence, and that's why we felt great about this move. You know, last year we lost Bron and AD for a long stretch, and you know, we didn't have enough to sustain throughout the regular season and to win in the playoffs. And you know, to get a guy like Russ, you know, if one of those guys is down, we have another guy that can put up a monster night like we saw tonight. So, you know, paying early dividends in acquiring Russell. Yeah, still learning the defense, but competing. You know, like their focus and their effort is super high, and you know, obviously, you know, those guys have really good offensive instincts. You know, to make shots. You know, big guts to make shots. That shot that Malik hit from 4-point range, huge factor in the victory. Put us up. We were down 1, put us up 2, near crunch time, and then obviously had that stretch. Austin had that stretch where he knocked down a couple threes as well. You know, but both of those guys have the ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter, put the ball on the floor, make good decisions. Okay, and you know, obviously they're competing on the defensive end.
More to come on Access. Lakers start off the road trip right. 35 points, 17 boards in the win for the Brow. More reaction on the other side.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by Carl's Jr. Introducing the new Hot Honey hand-breaded chicken lineup. Try it today.
Brez, you know I like you to take this one. Can you take the calendar for us, Brez?
Winnable games coming up.
Who do we got, Brez?
OKC twice over the next, 8 days?
Yep.
Rockets,
Keep
another
going,
team
Brez.
that's going to be in the bottom of the West probably. Cleveland, I'll tell you what, that could be a tough one. Some good young players. But, Rob, winnable games. Winnable games.
Allie's
Every
former
game
team,
is
the
winnable.
Cavs, won in Denver.
There you go.
OKC took Golden State to the wire.
Yeah, they lost by like 10.
I thought the San Antonio game was supposed to be a winnable game, and see what happened.
Yeah.
Overtime.
Yeah, you can't account for injuries.
Lakers won.
Yeah. And Frank Vogel, by the way, he did say we're going to evaluate AD. We'll see if he can play tomorrow. Rob, you think he's playing?
You know what? AD wants to show everybody he's tough. It's a new AD. Injuries don't bother him. I guarantee he will play.
Wow, that's a get on tee. Why don't you drop it? Go. Access 360 on AD.
On AD.
Because I guarantee that he's going to play. I'm going to the wall to show you what he's going to do in the next game against another opponent where he should dominate in the paint. Right here, you got AD off to the races. Look, control, pick. What you got to look how he stays here. He stays. But hey, people at home, watch this. This is how you set him up. You like, you got to look, watch him do a little with his feet. And that's what he does with his feet. You know, it's a sign to tell Westbrook, I'm going over the top. He goes over the top for a loop, a little bucket in the paint. AD, listen to what I'm saying. Buckets in the paint, not behind the 3 line. We use 0 for 4. Right here, you got another pick and roll situation with Rondo. Rondo, you go into the hole. He throws it out to Bays. Bays, you know what? I'm going to drive. Let me try it. I'm going to draw the defense. When you draw the defense, you kick it. AD is set up perfect. That's what DJ normally is. He sets it up perfect. I would drop it off to you, AD. What you going to do? Dunk on him, AD. Show him that man strength, that grown man strength right there. Now, you got another situation here where AD is going to come down and say, you know what? I'm going to do this thing the easy way. I'm going to post up. Because who? This is my favorite play. Westbrook drives, he dives, he draws the defense. Look, kids at home, look how high he's on the post. He doesn't run out of real estate when he does the James Worthy spin for the slam dunk. You got that right there. Now, see, when AD posts up high like that and is aggressive, I love it. Now, AD says, you know what? I did work in the paint. I'm going to show you what I can do from the outside. Right here, look at Westbrook. He sets him up. He knows the defense is going to come nice and easy. Kicks it out to AD. AD has that range right there he can do. Sets it up for a nice little pop from the top. buckets. That's what AD has to do to be successful all the time. Pop from the top, points in the paint. The points in the paint set that shot up right there, and he's able to knock it down.
It's my Instagram story on live TV, Rob. Did a great job.
Thank you. Oh, because you set it up. You set me up for the live.
Pretty good. Getting heckled about not shooting.
Gotta go sideways.
You guys are awesome in the control room. Big game for AD, James. And listen, the attack, the offensive rebounds, the tenacity, the block shots. Tonight was his night.
Yeah, he showed us tonight what he should show us every night. He showed us everything in the toolbox tonight. Inside, outside, defense, critical baskets when he was tipping back in, offensive boards, hit the big shot from the outside. So showed some leadership after he got up from banging his knee with the San Antonio Spurs player. So yeah, this is what we want to see every night. But I thought his attention to getting in that paint, and making sure that he was active in there. 7 offensive rebounds, 72 points in the paint total for the team, all led by AD. Good job tonight.
Yeah, surely his best game of the young season. Reminded me of, what was it, Game 3 against Phoenix in that first round where he just went off. Makes you wonder how far the Lakers could have gone had he not gotten hurt in that Game 4.
So, guys, on Sunday night, the Lakers got their first win, but they also got the scare, right? LeBron James going down. He did stay in the game. But he has that sore ankle. We're not sure if he's going to be able to play tomorrow night as well, is what Frank Vogel said. So what do you think of the Lakers without LBJ?
I thought they did a great job, especially Westbrook being aggressive and not having to share the basketball. LeBron James is one of those guys that we always knows he's very good on ball. The key is how do we play with him when he's not in the game. I think they did a good little run of that, and it's a good test for the run-up with OKC coming up because, as Brad says, OKC should be a winnable game, but this is a good tune-up for a lesser opponent because the Spurs, just because you don't know anybody on this team, they're a well-coached team, and they can play the game very well together.
You see LeBron coaching them up. He told the refs it was a 2, not a 3. Are you concerned a little bit, big game, James? You hate to have scares early in the season. It seems like the Lakers have already had a few of them. You're 4 games in, but LeBron with that ankle. I don't know if it's bringing us back to last year. It was a very similar looking incident. It wasn't the same. LeBron said.
Yeah, I don't think it was as severe as last year, but when you have those type of injuries like that, you have a tendency to feel it more the next day. So he laced his shoestring up when he injured and continued to play. Probably got some treatment afterwards, but I probably felt a little tenderness the next morning, and probably didn't want to give it a shot, which brought guys like Reeves into play, Monk into play. It brought a lot of guys who stepped up in his absence. But yeah, a little tender, no need to rush it.
And I know Rob guaranteed it, but maybe there's a possibility you don't have either guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Then it's Russ against his old team with a bunch of his new teammates. That'll be fun, wildly entertaining. The thing about LeBron for me tonight, it seemed like his ankle kind of worsened. Yesterday he was listed as probable. And then the Lakers sent out a newly updated medical thing this morning saying, yeah, he's questionable. And then a couple hours before tip-off, he was out. Rob, question, yes.
What's the difference in probable and questionable?
Probable is 75% you're going to play. Questionable, only 50% you're going to play. Out, 0% you're going to play. There was also doubtful, which is 25%. He skipped that today.
That's a man who plays fantasy football right there. That's a man who plays fantasy football right there. That's what
there's no doubt. But the Lakers, the margin for error, small tonight, but it's important that they won this game without LeBron James on the road against a young team. They don't care. They're not worried. They're not scared of the Lakers. It was impressive.
If it goes down that way, Russ has been a one-man show before.
Yeah.
And he won't be with the Lakers, but I'm saying he's been the only star on a team in OKC before, so he'll be fine tomorrow night. All right, more to come on Access. The microwave was cooking in the starting lineup. 17 points from Malik Monk. He was also plus 31. We'll be right back with more. Pretty good.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Don't miss the Chalk Talk with James Worthy at Morongo on Tuesday, November 9th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Welcome back to the Carl's Cam moment of the game, and boy, was it a moment for Russ.
Russ going to the rack. This old school Russ getting ready for OKC, where it all started for him. I know it was Seattle, but they kind of, same difference.
Kind of reminds me of like a running back when he has the ball. He sees just a little gap, and boy, he gets it and it's over. It's quick.
Allie, want to weigh in on Russ's just homecoming and how he played tonight? And, you know, obviously without LeBron, we talked a lot in the pregame show about what the expectations were for Russ.
Yeah, and I think the lights continue to be on Russ, and everyone is honing in on Russell Westbrook. And I thought the one thing that stood out to me was the 3 turnovers in 40 minutes. The 3 turnovers in 40 minutes to the 8 assists, of course, but also the way in which he was attacking late down the stretch with his head down. It just seems like with each opportunity, with each possession, not just game, possession by possession, Russ seems to be finding his way. And becoming more and more like Russell Westbrook. And you think of it, yeah, he's been to 2 stops since Oklahoma City, but we know how much that place has meant to him. So to have a game like this before returning back there, it's good for Russ.
His jersey will hang in the rafters when he's all done in OKC. Good work. All right, Russ is speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Russ, what did you guys feel switch some in that fourth quarter, coming in down 12 when you went in the run early and then sustained it?
Just stuck with it, you know. We got down, and but third quarter didn't finish the way we wanted to. But fourth quarter, guys came in, stepped up, made right plays, stuck to our principles, defended well, got some stops, and you know, scored in the paint.
You were really getting to and finishing at the rim pretty much throughout the whole night, Russ. Was there something that you noticed in the way that they were playing?
No, just slowing down a little bit. You know, first 3 games. Rushing around the basket, which I don't really need to. Get there, taking my time, and then focus on making a layup.
I asked Malik this question, but just sensing kind of your first time in a Lakers jersey, but with the fans on the road, you've probably seen it and your other different stops. What does that feel like hearing that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's different for me. I'm not used to people cheering for me on the road, but you know, that's a different experience for me, which is good. You know, Laker fans all across the world, which is an amazing feeling. You know, tonight we represented.
You guys got on 12 in the third. What do you think was the key to the way you guys approach the game tonight?
I think we stuck together. I think one thing that Coach been emphasized to us is togetherness. And I thought when they made a run, you know, we stuck together. We locked in on our defensive principles, got stops, and made our run of our own, and then made it a ball game. I mean, definitely got to do that for sure. You know, especially with Brian being out, we understand that with that comes responsibility of making guys around us better. And tonight, I thought AD did a great job of just being aggressive all night, missing makes, finished well around the basket. It was big for us tonight.
What did you see from Malik and Austin?
Defending. I thought they defended very well. Probably kind of go unnoticed, but I thought they did a great job of defending, making shots when their number was called, and you know, being ready to go.
Russ, there was that stretch where you were at the scores table and you couldn't check in because there was no breaks in the action. Was that hard to watch?
You know, but you know, Malik makes some big shots. Closed the game the way we needed to, got in overtime, and then I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose focus. So when overtime did come, I was locked in so we can close the game. Definitely, man. You know, it's always tough to see, you know, one of your best players go down, especially in times like that when he's battling so much. You know, luckily, and we'll stay prayerful for him and make sure that he is all right moving forward. You know, you're able to finish the game tonight, but it's always a tough one to see, you know, one of your guys go down.
How are you feeling about going back to Oklahoma tomorrow? I know you've done it several times. But...
Yeah, I feel great. You know, it's like home for me, just because I was there for so many years. All the people there have been so great to me since day one, and like family, so just like going home, you know, so, but I also want to win.
Russ, what's been for you with back-to-backs throughout your career? Like, what's the key, from a team standpoint, from an individual standpoint?
Start preparing tonight. You know, you got to prepare. One thing I learned a long time ago, as a young player in this league, the hardest thing to do is be consistent in this league and then be able to do the same thing every night. So I pride myself on being able to turn the page and do the same thing again the next night. So just making sure we focus, and my job is to make sure all our guys are focused and and, get this game behind us and get ready for tomorrow.
You've had some battles here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But when you look across that bench, completely different. What do you see from the...
Oh, man, these guys are young, fast, athletic, playing well, play together. I still see Pop, I'll tell you that. Pop's still right there. So they still well coached, and they know how to play the game. And it'll be tough. They're going to be a tough program for a lot of years. They've orchestrated their team very well. A lot of young guys that want to compete. So, they played hard tonight, as you've seen. And, it was a good game.
Lakers get the win on the road. A little worthy spin. AD on Jakob Poeltl for the two-handed stuff. 35 points for Anthony Davis.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by Mito Lotto. Download the new Mito Lotto app to order tickets for this week's big lottery jackpots. Scan the QR code for a free ticket.
Game stats, 125 to 121. Lakers shoot 48% from the field, only 8 of 30 from 3. Turn the ball over only 13 times on the road. That's a big one, 72 points in the paint. The first time they had outscored a team in the paint this season. Spurs had 29 fast break points after 3, so the Lakers, big number, 0 in the fourth quarter, defensively stepping up down the stretch. All right, we'll be right back in a moment. Russell Westbrook making this fans' day. Pair of shoes, good catch. Good.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Wednesday, the Lakers are back in action against the Thunder. Second game of a back-to-back. Games at 5. Pre-game's going to get you going at 4. Let's head back to San Antonio. Anthony Davis talking about his knee injury.
Yeah, we're going to box out, and then he was doing the job flying in, but I was still kind of planted on the ground, and he ran into my knee. Like a little stinger, just a little stinger, and then started moving, just kind of went away as I kept playing. Still felt it a little bit, but try to finish the game. Well, finish the game, and we'll see how it is when I wake up tomorrow.
Did you get anything done post-game,
Nah. Little ice treatment. Do some more stuff when we land in OKC. The only test, and you're still going off of adrenaline and stuff right now. So test is when you rest and then wake up and all the adrenaline and stuff is going. Then your body start reacting to the pain. Yes and no. Just consciously, big 3 and 1 is out, so the other 2 have to pick up that slack. But we never, to all right, Russ is on me and you tonight. Team never said it, just something that just kind of happens. But I told Russ, I said whether I'll play, Bron play, who we don't play, it doesn't matter. You still got to be yourself, and he did that tonight. The way he played tonight was incredible, and we need that from him every night. No matter if Bron is playing or not, or if I'm playing or not. Be yourself, and we'll find ways to kind of adjust around him. But anytime we have a guy out, especially a guy of Bron's caliber, we the whole team have to pick up the slack on both ends of the floor.
On paper, this game shouldn't have been that tight. But what were they doing, or what were you all doing early on that just kept it kind of?
They're a team that play hard. That's why it's paper for a reason. It doesn't show, capabilities of guys. Guys are in the NBA for a reason. All these guys are capable, being here and are here for a reason. And so we had some miscues on both ends of the floor, but this team plays hard. They play fast. They run their actions with pace. Pop gets on them. If not, and Lonnie got hot. From 3, I won't say his name wrong, Vassell. he played well. He got hot from three. You know, he's 5 for 9. So you know, they had tons of bench scoring. But at the end of the day, you know, we was able to, you know, put it out in overtime. I mean, down 12. You know, guys hit some big shots for us in that fourth quarter. Stayed composed and was able to win it.
You guys allowed just 24 points in the fourth quarter and overtime combined. What were the defensive adjustments that got us into that stretch?
I mean, when you're down, you have to get stops. And we were communicating. We kind of changed our scheme a little bit to kind of make it easier on all of us. But we had to be that locked in from the start, which we were. And then they, you know, took off, you know, with some miscues, turnovers that led to fast break points, offensive rebounds, you know, kicked out for threes. So we got to do a better job of handling that. But, you know, for the most part, I think we'll be fine.
Malik and Austin were the two guys in both of yours besides you and Russ. What's that those boosts today providing both of them?
I mean, shit, Malik plus 31. Ridiculous. Come in, started, and played well. Big time threes. Played great defensively. Austin, just tough. You know, come in, rookie. You know, he comes in and played extremely well. You know, hit some shots. Got hit in the face again tonight. You know, he plays through it, man. He's physical. He's tough. He's not scared of the moment. You know, any rookie can get scared in the moment. I mean, overtime, fourth quarter, you know, first time he's been through that in a close game, and as far as the NBA level, and he was stayed composed the entire time. So, you know, he's definitely a guy that we can use throughout the season.
What do you think tomorrow, Bress?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, probably the only bona fide veteran player, if you can even call him a veteran, for the Thunder. A lot of young guys. Fun, exciting player, a point guard, Josh Giddey, top 5 pick in the draft just a few short months ago. Already kind of a triple-double threat. Just not a lot of depth on this team. Lakers play him twice over the next week and a half. Rob, winnable game tomorrow.
One thing we did say, too, James, there were some things this team definitely has to get better at. This was not a perfect game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Defensively, this team has to get better, Lakers.
Yeah, defensively, they have to play a more, you know, sustained game. They can't give up easy buckets. I thought San Antonio got a lot of easy buckets in the paint whenever they wanted. But then they clamped down when they needed to, which shows that they're
fourth quarter
making some
definitely
progress.
much better.
Yeah, for me, I look at, you have to go in the film session and say, what killed us? The pick and roll. We made a guy, we can't even pronounce his name, an all-star. You know, so you got to learn how to stop the pick and roll. What is his name? Pirtle?
We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.
Pirtle.
Playing like Earl the Pearl.